Hey guys, how's it going today? Thank you for tuning in to On and Off the Road again. I am out here in the Black Hills, not too far from Deadwood, South Dakota, and I pulled off. Had the opportunity to bring out a 2000, what year is it? I think it's a 2016 BMW R1200RS, and it is a phenomenal ride. They're balanced so nicely. I can imagine the 1250 RS is the next step above it, just because you get a little bit more power, a little bit more tuning, the way BMW improves over generations of design. But this bike is such a pleasure to ride, and there's a lot of features I'm going to go over that I'm going to point out specifically that really I think add to that or make it really that full package. And this one's got a ton of power. It's somewhere in the 115, 120 horsepower ballpark as far as power spec, because it's the 1200 and not the 1250. But it does have their shift assist, which makes it so you don't need to use the clutch other than to start and stop. And it doesn't work as well as the current generation, but it still works well. It's such a really nice way to accelerate, go. If you want to be aggressive, you can just hit the gears and it rev matches, and you're just bop, 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 and it matches. And you hold on because it just goes. Now, this isn't a high revving engine. That's just not the kind of power plant the Boxers are in these BMWs. It is a lot of torque, but you get the horsepower in that really kind of 1500 to 4000, 4500 RPM range is where you get the peak. And it is a pleasure. Now, depending on how you ride, maybe it's not your flavor. I find that it's really enjoyable, but I'm going to go around it, and you can see for yourself. Here we go. BMW R1200RS, and you can see this is kind of their sport touring motorcycle, sort of like the 1200 RT, but this one is a little bit more aggressive position. This is in BMW's Roadster, what they kind of consider actually a sport, more of a full sport bike category. And they have the R1000, or excuse me, the S1000R and the S1000RR, but this is the only R1200 in that category that BMW makes. They do have an F900R as well, but this one is unique in the category with this Boxer engine. And you can see this is their iteration with liquid cooling. You also get the drive shaft. It's not the chain or a belt, so it's super reliable. You get that torque transfer that's really smooth. You can see this one has a center stand as well down there at the bottom. And then this one does have the shift assist, and you can tell because it has this sensor right down there. Sometimes it's in line with this, but in this case it's right there. And this one has engine guards added, or head guards added to it. And this one also, as you saw, had the side cases added to it as well, which is really nice. And in this case, the side cases are big enough to actually hold a helmet, which if I can open it, I don't know if I can open it one-handed. We'll see here. But you can see it actually does hold a helmet, goes in sideways. So that's a really nice thing. And they also come off. If I can get it closed there. You can also release it, and there's a handle built in like that. Really nice handling, balanced setup here. You can also get a top case to go on this rack that's on the back, or some people will just use that to strap another bag or some sort of a soft case. Single-sided swing arm. You can see it kind of has that really cool look. It just has lug nuts, kind of like a car, there on that rear wheel. Passenger pegs. My son's out here with me today, and he came on the ride with me. But a really, really nice bike. You can see it's got Brembo brakes, twin calipers up front. And also you can see there, if you notice the forks, they are inverted. So you get a really good ride experience, good handling feedback with the inverted forks versus upright forks. And I'm gonna go over, this one also has an adjustable windscreen. It's not anything fancy because you just move it with your hand. If I can do it, just manually. But you can raise it and lower it just manually. This is also equipped with a GPS mount, so it's ready to accept BMW's Motorrad Navigator. Or they also make a phone mount that you can put on here, and then you can put your phone and it'll charge it as you go down the roadway. This one is equipped with heated grips. You do have ride modes, your kill switch over here, and then you also have suspension modes, ABS settings, info, trip. This is your multi-selector. Then you have your cruise up here, signals, horn, your basics. This one is also keyless ride, so you have your button, and then this one is a fob, kind of like your cars these days. So you see it has the fob, and then you push it, and it has the key, which you use to open the side cases, to take off the seat, that sort of thing. And this one, a really cool thing that BMW's done for several years is the levers, both sides are adjustable. You can adjust this so it adjusts the distance between the grip and the actual lever itself. So you kind of push forward to relieve the pressure, and then you can rotate this, and it'll actually adjust the distance between the lever and the grip. And you can do that, and BMW's come that way. You don't have to get some aftermarket lever to make that possible. So it's really cool how that works. This is also a keyless fuel cap, so you just have to have the key near it. It'll release. If I have the key nearby enough, there we go. And then it opens up, and then you pop it back down, and you're good to go. Now I'm gonna power this on. You can see this is, it is 2016, so it has the older display. You've got your analog speedometer. Your tach is there on the top of the gauge. You can see the number bars. And then your odometer, your road on the upper right below the tach here. That one shows your suspension mode. The bottom one here shows your ride mode. So if you use the mode button here on the grip, that adjusts what's listed here, your ride mode, versus the suspension mode is adjusted over here. And then you have also your engine temp down here, and that one can also be changed with the info button here, and it'll adjust the information here to be range, or you can have it be your miles per gallon. You can have it be gallons per hour even, it looks like. Your average speed, tire pressures, it looks like your rear, then your voltage. I'll have to look up what that is. Time for a break. I'm not totally sure. BMW does this weird thing where it shows how long you take a break, and I think that's what that is. Then you have the date. I don't even know if that's set right, but service interval, next service interval mileage, oil level, style, temperature outside, and then you have engine temp. I'm gonna leave it right there because that's kind of what I want to have visible. And then I'm gonna start it up and you can see how this thing sounds. So you can hear that boxer engine. They have that unique sound to them. Not real loud, but I think they sound pretty good. Super aggressive as far as response and torque. But here's the rev. And you can see the engine, the bike move when you do that. The torque of the engine actually moves the bike when you're at a stop. You don't feel it when you're going down the road because they're so well balanced, but when it's at a stop or you're parked, you feel the torque. But there is the 2016 BMW R1200RS, and if you're looking for a really fun sport bike that actually is a nice touring position and not a full sport leaned over position, something you can take on a road but still ride pretty aggressively or just ride on the open road. This is definitely an option worth considering. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below, and thank you for tuning in. God bless you, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of the hills here, and sorry that it's smoky, but it's still beautiful.